G'day, Pickleball family. First thing to know, as shared on cnbc.com, it's not your imagination. Pickleball courts are everywhere. America's fastest growing sport is also rapidly growing its footprint. Over the past 7 years, the number of outdoor public pickleball courts in major cities has skyrocketed 650%, according to a new report by the Trust for Public Land, or TPL, a non-profit organisation dedicated to connecting people to the outdoors. In 2017, fewer than half of the largest US cities offered formalised pickleball courts. Today, parks and recreation departments have embraced the sport, spurring the instalment of more than 3,000 courts across 100 of the most populated cities in the country. And it's not just local parks where you hear the infamous pop of pickleball. Courts have become big businesses as franchise country clubs and fitness clubs build and convert space. There's nothing that comes anywhere close to that growth among major park trends, said Will Klein, Associate Director of Parks Research at Trust for Public Land. When you look at playgrounds, ball fields, basketball courts, you see very, very modest increases. So this is off the charts growth. Louisville, Kentucky, Madison, Wisconsin, and Honolulu are home to the most courts per capita, according to the sport. Klein said pickleball has helped attract people of all ages and backgrounds to public parks. One community reaping the rewards of pickleball's rapid growth, City Pickle in New York City. Founded in 2022 by longtime friends and tennis players Erica Desai and Mary Cannon, City Pickle operates 14 courts in Central Park's Wollman Rink, with court access starting at just $5 per hour in off-peak times and running up to $120 during peak times. The group is now hosting hundreds of events each year and has 74,000 people booking court time through their app. City Pickle has since expanded into other locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Long Island City. We have found New York City parks to really understand the popularity of pickleball and also the need for more courts, said Cannon. Yet the co-founders are keeping their eye on the ball as they see new competition arise. At some point, there will become an oversaturation in suburban markets, Desai said. We're watching that. It's a concern of ours, and it's why we're very intentional about the locations and the geography that we're seeking. Members only, Pickleball Kingdom, the world's largest indoor pickleball facility, announced Tuesday more than 25 new locations scattered throughout the country. Pickleball Kingdom first opened in 2022 and today, through franchising, has grown to over 100 clubs. The growth of pickleball in the United States has been extraordinary. We're excited to meet the increasing demand and bring Pickleball Kingdom's premier indoor pickleball to the masses, said Ace Rodriguez, founder and CEO of Pickleball Kingdom. Pickleball courts are also popping up at gyms throughout the country. Lifetime, an athletic country club, currently boasts almost 700 pickleball courts across its 170 US locations. On Monday, the company announced that it is converting a former Bed Bath & Beyond location in Annapolis, Maryland, into a Lifetime facility that will include 11 indoor pickleball courts. The company said it's expecting to reach nearly 1,000 courts in the near future after seeing a 51% growth in pickleball players at its clubs last year. Lifetime founder and CEO Bahram Akradi said pickleball has been a major growth driver of late for the company. He estimates Lifetime has invested around $60 million in adding new outdoor courts and converting legacy club basketball courts into spaces for pickleball. If you look at our growth chart, it's like COVID never happened, he said, referencing the pandemic era slump in gym attendance. At Invited Clubs, the largest owner and operator of private golf clubs, CEO David Pillsbury had barely even heard of pickleball 3 years ago. Today, the company maintains just under 500 courts, hosts tournaments, and plans to continue investing in the sport. Pickleball is a bustling micro-community, Pillsbury said. We're in the business of curating and facilitating micro-communities because they're sticky and they create members who we are able to retain. They stay at clubs, they're extremely active, and they spend. Pillsbury said Invited Clubs has invested between $10 million and $12 million into the sport over the past 3 years. Thanks ever so much for making it this far into the update. Please be sure to hit subscribe and like, comment, and rate on the platform you're watching or listening to it on, so this and future episodes can be found by and shared with other fellow pickleballers. Second thing to know, as shared on alverniauniversity.edu, Alvernia University Pickleball Club in Reading, Pennsylvania, draws over 40 students in debut semester. The pickleball community in Reading, Pennsylvania is prominent. Alvernia University is no different. Over 40 students joined the pickleball club in its debut semester. The club allows members to participate in weekly practices, monthly tournaments, and volunteer opportunities. It began after President Jack Natalino and Vice President Quincy Essanon took a physical education pickleball course. They found their passion for the sport through the class and felt it could become a permanent opportunity for students to exercise and socialise in a stress-free environment. It's really good for stress for me because I'm a DPT major. I'm constantly doing homework and studying, so it's great to get out and just get some exercise and have some fun, said Natalino. It's a great platform to meet new people and form good friendships. I thought it would be some small thing, maybe like a couple of my friends, but I've met at least 20 to 30 people through the pickleball club. Everyone's very nice to each other. I just see a bunch of smiles. What began as an idea between friends has developed into a thriving pickleball community. The club was named Registered Student Organisation of the Year by the Student Government Association for being one of the most popular and active clubs on campus. It was so cool to see how pickleball got so many people together. I have never seen so many students show up to a club organised event, said Greta Bender. Being a part of this club, I get to support my best friend Jack and I get to have fun playing with my closest friends. In addition to providing a fun atmosphere for students to become active and meet new people, the club is also committed to giving back to the community. Their most recent service efforts involved collaborating with the I'm Able Foundation, which provides opportunities for individuals with disabilities to participate in physical activity. The club was able to set up pickleball nets at I'm Able's 2024 Bash event and teach and play pickleball with participants. I had not had the opportunity to have a lot of community service in high school, so it was a new experience for me and I loved it, said Natalina. We made sure everybody had everything they needed. We played some games with the kids. They were having fun. It was great to see. The last tournament of the year on May 2nd wrapped up the club's successful first semester. The club leaders plan to build upon its success in the following year with practices, monthly tournaments with prizes, finding more service opportunities and giving back to the community. Third thing to know, as shared on pickleball.com, paddle controversy dominates discourse in Atlanta. This past weekend gave us enough to talk about with the biggest PPA Tour event to date, but some major news regarding Yola's Gen 3 paddles continues to be the hot topic from the Peach State. For context, Yola released its Gen 3 paddle lineup in mid-April, boasting an all-new propulsion core for added catapult effect and dwell time. Many voices in the pickle sphere, pros and amateurs alike, have made their thoughts known on the paddles and the implications that kind of power has on the future of the sport. Top male pro pickleballer Christian Olshon tweeted, "The Gen 3 Yola paddles are ruining pickleball at the professional, I say from experience, and recreational level. I hear constantly. It's not Yola's immediate fault, but action must be taken. If I wanted trampoline effects on the court, I would have stuck with tennis." Those discussions took centre stage Thursday when it was discovered that the Gen 3 paddle lineup had been removed from the USA Pickleball's approved paddle list. Both USA Pickleball and Yola released statements on the matter. According to this release, USAP removed the Gen 3 paddles from the approved list after being informed by Yola that Yola had submitted the wrong paddles for testing last November. Here, Yola blames the removal of the paddles from the approved list on an administrative error from November related to USAP's similarity testing protocols. Though details are scarce, especially in the Yola release, I think we can reasonably assume that the term administrative error refers to Yola submitting the paddles in November as described in USAP's statement. Yola maintains that the current Gen 3 paddles on the market are materially the same as the models that were previously approved by USAP in September. Both parties will have to wait to confirm that statement while USAP retests the Gen 3 paddles, a process that can take up to 4 to 6 weeks. As USAP and Yola published their statements, the PPA tweeted a message of its own stating that its paddle testing standards, handled by third-party company Pickle Pro Labs, or PPL, would not change in the middle of an event, meaning that players could still use the Gen 3 models in Atlanta. But things don't stop there. On the same day as all of these statements, the United Pickleball Association, or UPA, the holding company for both the PPA Tour and Major League Pickleball, MLP, announced UPA of America, or UPAA, or UPAA, as the global governing body of the sport. That release also announced the creation of both an Equipment Manufacturer Advisory Board, of which Yola is a member, and an Equipment Player Advisory Board to help set paddle standards and regulations for the UPA. Those rules have yet to be finalised, so we can assume that the Gen 3 paddles will remain viable for use in at least the next few PPA Tour and MLP events through mid-June. The Texas Open, the Sacramento Open, and MLP Washington, D.C. Fourth thing to know, as also shared on pickleball.com, couple celebrates 50th wedding anniversary at Atlanta Open. Beverly and David Clintworth came to the PPA Atlanta Open from Mount Juliet, Tennessee, to attend their very first professional pickleball tournament and celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary in the VIP lounge. I wanted to do something different for our 50th wedding anniversary. You can go to Hawaii, Alaska, or any of those exotic places, but we love pickleball and we thought, why don't we do something different? So we came to Atlanta to watch pro pickleball, shared David with a smile. The Clintworths are avid pickleball players who hit the court several times a week. Needless to say, this was a trip to indulge in a shared passion. We watch pro pickleball on TV, but I always said to David that it would be awesome to see them play up close and personal. It's a whole different ball game when it's live. I can't believe the quickness, mentioned Beverly. Our favourite part was definitely seeing Annalie Waters, ALW, and Ben Johns play. I play with his Yola paddle and we're big fans of Annalie. We can't believe she's only 17. Sitting courtside watching these guys, you can't beat it. Beverly is even picking up some tips from the pros she'll be able to take to her pickleball game back home, added David. The Clintworths even had the opportunity to meet some of their pros on site, favourite pros on site, which is truly one of the highlights of this sport. The accessibility to the best pickleball athletes in the business is simply unmatched. They're genuine people and they have the same passion as we do for the sport. They want to grow the sport, they want to support the sport, so we all have a common interest, said David. Since the couple was celebrating a major anniversary, they also decided to splurge and buy VIP tickets for the whole tournament. It's been a great experience and we'd do it again, confirmed Beverly. The Clintworths are adamant that attending a PPA event is worth every penny. If you're not hooked on watching pro pickleball after attending a tournament, you will be, Beverly advised. Happy 50th anniversary to the Clintworths. Paddles up.